Good morning, beloveds. It is quite a frosty morning. Not literally, although there was a little frost in certain places. And a lot of the roofs had kind of that white coating, whether it's frost or just condensation from, it's really cold. I say, no, it's not. I think it was 39 degrees, but with the humidity, just kind of seeps into your bones. But it was nice. It was nice. I only wore the one layer though. I'm still just hot enough that one layer is enough. It was cool though. So, all right. It is December 28th. Our title is God Omnipotent. And our author is Alice R. Richie. This was published in Divine Science Monthly of October 1933. Okay. I know in whom I believe, God omnipotent. We cannot possibly be lacking in faith when we know in whom we believe. It is because we do not know God aright that we suffer from doubts and fears. Knowledge of God and God's law inspire faith in God's omnipresence. The first essential in the happy adventure of living an affirmative life is to know what God is and to get ourselves firmly established in this knowledge so that we can at all times stand true to principle. I will be still and know the God in whom I believe. I know the perfection of my source. I know the fullness of my supply. I know the limitlessness of my power. I know the certainty of my life. I know the beauty of my world. I know the harmony of my home. I know the safety of my family. I know the success of my business. I know the source of every good. I know in whom I believe, God omnipotent, changeless, eternal, finite. And then she gives you a suggestion to study 2 Timothy chapter 1 through 13, and Psalm 46. So, and the interesting thing is so you can see she has the list right there. Each word that could refer to, it's like the fullness is capitalized, supply is capitalized, certainty is capitalized, life is capitalized, harmony is capitalized, home is capitalized. So, and I agree with her. I agree with her about getting it right with our knowing what God is, okay? Or who God is. Who is kind of because then we want to assign personality traits to God, and God is not a personality. Yeah, that's the first thing we want to remember is God is not a personality, okay? The Greek versions are just bigger versions of humans, which is why they're terrifying and why they make all of the mistakes that they do. Which is one of the reasons why we tend to use source of our being, divine patterning, universe, instead of just the word God, because God is limiting. And so when we do this kind of work, that is exactly what we want to do, is we want to dig into what we really believe about God. Do we believe that God is an old man with a long white beard sitting in a chair with a big book judging us? Because if we believe that, then it would explain why we have fears and doubts. That's not what I believe God is. I believe that God is the spark of life. I believe God is that eternal photon. I believe that God is the patterning intelligence that all life runs on. But that's just the thing. And it's one of the reasons why I think the Hindus kind of had the Hindus had this idea. They were like, well, there's one God, but that God is so big, it is beyond our comprehension. And I need to deal with God, but I can't deal with this overwhelming concept that my brain cannot deal with. So I'm going to assign this name to this part of God that I need to deal with. And that's how they managed it. That's why the Hindus look like they have so many gods, but they don't. Really, they have one. They recognize that Brahma's it. But they're like, but I can't, in my limited human intelligence, I can't deal with that. but this is what I need from God. This is the aspect of God that I need. So let me give it a particular name and let me deal with that. Which is, and it's not a bad system. It's not a bad system. It's as long as you remember that you're dealing with an aspect, not the whole. And you don't start assigning personality traits to it. It's like with any organization. It's like, which office do you need to deal with? I need the office of fundraising. I need the office of, that's how it's one of the ways we deal with God, because God is all, everything, omnipresent, omnipotent, there's nowhere God is not. And so what she did was put a bunch of affirmations. You could definitely use them as affirmations. You could also use them in bodies of treatment. But her initial statement, Alice's initial statement is, look, the reason that you have fears and doubts, the reason why your prayers may not be working out completely the way you think, is you got to go back to your idea of God. It's like, we're human. We're going to have ideas. But our ideas of God can limit God, and which is not true, but still true. Our ideas can't limit God, but they can limit the activity of God in our life. See what I mean? It's like, if you believe that it doesn't work, then it works by not working in your life. But you watch it work for other people and you're like, so you want to go back to the foundational element of, well, what is it that you believe about God? What is your relationship with the source of your own being? It's one of the reasons why New Thought advocates regular spiritual practice, especially regular spiritual practice that puts you consciously in the presence of the source of your being. So when you go there regularly, then you get to know the source of your being. You get to know everything that it is to you. You're never going to know everything that it is. That's just it. It's just like, do we believe that we are made of God, by God, for God? Yes. Do we believe that we are all of God? Heck no. Because God is everything and we are not. So, there's a blab. Just a little bit of that little pink tongue showing out there. We cannot possibly be lacking in faith when we know in whom we believe. It is because we do not know God aright. Which is one of the reasons why I'm a big believer in talking about, getting to know yourself. Well, it's the same thing about God. Because you were taught things as you grew by culture, by society, by religion, about God. You were taught about yourself and about God, and how much of it was wrong? Just outright wrong. And how much of it was just not all of it. And that's, too many times we've built God in our own image instead of the other way around. Too many times we've built God in our own image. I see that meme frequently. It's like, you've built God in your own image if God hates all the same people you do. It's like, too many times we have built God in our own image or in the image of somebody else. And it's like, God is so much more than that. And that's Alice's point. Get to know God aright. Strip off all of the things that we have done to limit God's activity in our life. And part of that is what God is, trying to determine what God is. It's kind of a pointless exercise, because it's so far beyond our conception. And I'm not saying not to try. What I would say is that we're never going to know everything that God is. But the more that we learn about God, the more effective we will be in our treatments. And the more that we learn about God in relation to ourselves, the more effective we will be in our treatments. And that's why she then gifts you with, and now I'm curious, I'm going to try and go look up her Bible quotes, 2 Timothy in Psalm 46. I'm curious to know what they are. I love that she gives us homework. So, all right. I think that's, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of this. Knowledge of God and God's law inspire faith in God's omnipresence. The first essential in the happy adventure of living an affirmative life is to know what God is and get ourselves firmly established in this knowledge so that we can at all times stand true to the principle. And that's why she ends with, I know in whom I believe, God omnipotent, changeless, eternal, and infinite. So God is all of these things. The perfection of a supply, the fullness of supply, the perfection of source, the fullness of supply, the limitlessness of power, certainty of life, beauty of world, harmony of home, safety of family, success of business, source of every good. And honestly, if you just start there, God is the source of every good, it's a good place to start. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is exactly that. Let's dig into our belief about God. Dig into the belief about what it is that we truly believe, and strip away anything that we've told that doesn't ring true anymore. I'm not saying everything that you were taught is wrong. I'm not even saying most of what you were taught is wrong. I'm just saying there may be some things in there that don't ring true anymore, and it's time to strip them out, and let God have a bigger definition than you have. Get to know the source of your own being. Make regular trips to the source of your own being. That would be the mission. Get to know God. Yep. All right. And there's lots of ways to do that. You treatment, meditation, music, reading sacred literature, and read lots of sacred literature from lots of different people, because everybody has their own ideas. And separate the wheat from the chaff. Take what rings true to you. That's one of the things that I've loved about this book, is that it does divine science, and it does unity, and it does science of mind, and it does, poets that have no real connection to any of the new thoughts. It's like, let's pull from all these different sources, and because everybody's got a piece of the truth. Nobody's got the whole picture. It's like there is a puzzle box, and we've all got pieces from the puzzle box. And if we could get together, we can make a beautiful picture. All right. That is the mission today. Get to know, take a look at your beliefs on God and let go of anything that doesn't ring true anymore. So, all right. And then the other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like for you. Big, small, doesn't matter. One thing, three things, all things. I mean, honestly, all things is the goal. So that everything you do is loving, kind, and compassionate, which is really, incredible and amazing. It means that even when you have hard stuff to do, you can find a way to do it lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. And you absolutely can. I believe in you. I have faith. As I know who the source of you is. And some easy suggestions: take a deep breath before you speak. That gives you the opportunity to respond instead of react. That's a big way to start loving, kind, and compassionate. Take a walk, take a nap, take a break. The human equivalent of turning yourself on and off again. If you are stymied and frustrated by something, walk away from it for a little while, or go take an actual walk. Exercise is always good for the mind, and the body and the soul. Take a nap, rest. and take a break. Go do something else for a while. I want to remind you, sometimes the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do for yourself and others is say no. And no is a complete sentence. But on the other side, saying yes to something that pushes you a little out of your comfort zone, also loving, kind, and compassionate. Because frequently what we want is just on the other side of our comfort zone. So I am going to remind you that I like to say one of the loving, kind, and compassionate things you can do is eat dessert first. One, I do believe chocolate is the first step to fixing anything. But I also believe that I have come to understand when I say that, what I mean is don't save the good stuff. Don't wait for a special occasion. Make the occasion special. So there is that. All right. And I also want to remind you to make room for joy. Whatever it looks like. Joy is a quality of God, therefore joy is a quality of you. I got to see a truly joyful moment. And I love sharing joy with other people. I got to see one of those moments yesterday when we were in a board meeting and one of the members had a child who lives half the country away walk in behind her while we were in the board meeting. That was, and just, she turned around with this, who's behind me? Thinking it was one of her other children, and no, it was this one. And we all got to watch the joy in her face and the joy on his face, and then the joy of the sibling that had showed up to, facilitate this. And that's joy. And we got to share her joy. We got to share her joy. And that's what it looks like. That is what it looks like. Shared joy is multiplied. Shared grief is divided. It's halved. So share your joys and share your griefs. So, all right. I'm getting verklempt because it was such an amazing moment to watch last night. All right. The smiles on both of their faces. All right. Oh, the rest of the suggestions are basic and easy. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better. Your body works better. Your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. Get that early in your day bright light. That was what was nice this morning. We got out pretty close to 7:30. So I had my sunglasses, but I didn't need them. But I did get that sunshine. And we've got the sunshine on the floor this morning. And it sprouted a cat for a brief moment, which is always one of my joys. To watch a cat in the sunshine. And I just lost my train of thought. Between 7 and 9, science says that the sun is hitting the earth at a particular angle that supports your vitamin D production. That's why I say between 7 and 9, 5 to 10 minutes to reset those circadian rhythms. If you have to get up before that or after that because of your life, the artificial light will help too. But if you need more support than you're getting from the light in your house, Google seasonal effect disorder light or lamps. Seasonal effect disorder or sun lamps. They use them all over the world where they're in places where they don't get as much sun as we do. So there are resources out there to help you. All right. And then I'm going to give you my Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. What does that mean? It means heaven isn't a place. It means heaven is a mindset. It is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. All right. Much like Alice said today, what is it that you truly believe about God? That's going to inform your idea of heaven. That's going to inform your consciousness. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. That's why we believe it's a state of mind. And once you recognize that, once you learn to create it for yourself, it means heaven ceases to be a place you have to get to and can be any place you are, which means heaven moves from a state of grace to a superpower. All right, try it. Try it. Trust me. Once you learn to create that heavenly mindset, you'll like it. And you'll be a better person for it. And you will attract people around you that are different. You know, people will act different around you when you learn to create that heavenly mindset. So it will change your relationships in interesting ways. Okay. All right. And you can always take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice. Look for the good and praise it. Look for the good and praise it. Which is another way of saying count your blessings. And we all know that works. Gratitude will get you everywhere. So you need to change your grumpy mood. Gratitude, count your blessings, random acts of kindness, volunteer service. There's science. It'll help. All right. I guess I'm at the social media part where I remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I do encourage you, if you want to, especially if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on a constant contact email, which has links to our social media. There are links if you want to watch the go to our Facebook. Well, if you're watching this on the Facebook page, but there's a link to the Soul Session playlist on the YouTube channel. And then once you're there, you subscribe and you can, run around on that and see what it is that you want to do. There's also, I think he's got a link in there right now to Home Office, because Home Office is teaching they teach like 3 to 4 classes every semester, I get quarter, I don't know. So if there's a class you want to take, and you get to take it with people around the world, you get to meet new people. It's really cool. They put you in breakout rooms and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, if you're hungering for a class, there's that. Okay, so check out those links. Check out the social medias, and we try and put light, bright, funny, and uplifting and enlightening stuff on them on a regular basis. And we did just have an amazing soul session. So if you haven't seen it, scroll back a couple of videos and watch it, or go to the YouTube channel. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a get to know your ideas about God day, I can't believe this week is almost done day. I can't believe this year is almost done day. A getting ready for New Year's day. A making plans for next year day. A getting stuff done day, or a taking a break day. Or a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, well represented. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right, beloveds. As I reminded you earlier, explore the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of everything that you have been told about yourself and God. By society, by culture, by religion, by gender normatives, by stereotypes, by archetypes, by the boxes you've been stuffed into and the labels you've had slapped on you. Peel all that away and get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise that the person that God knows you to be is good. Take hope. Take hope. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. I am going to remind you, come here. She's going to make a cameo. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.